Michael McNamee is a perfect example of the more you take on in your life, the more time you have to take on valuable things. Michael is a graduate student at UW in the MPA program in Environment and Natural Resources. He also holds down a job working for Career Services at UW. He's also, and this is important, he is a big brother in the local Big Brothers and Big Sisters program. The program, of course, creates and supports mentoring relationships for children in the community. Michael and his little brother David have been matched together for over 6 years. Michael was recently named the Big Brother of the Year for the state of Wyoming, and his talk today is entitled A Journey Together. Please welcome Michael McNamee.
I remember the first time I met my little brother. I just kept thinking how small he was. He was 9 years old, about this big, and I was 19, just done with my freshman year in college. And I just remember not knowing what I was doing. And this is me, by the way. And I know what you're thinking. I looked awesome. And you are right, I was awesome. But the thing was, they matched me in this program, and I just didn't know what to expect. You see, I was raised with 3 older sisters. And anybody that can relate to that can say how bad that can be sometimes. I just wanted a brother. I just wanted somebody that I could do manly stuff with and go hiking and, talk about those kind of things and bro out a little bit. But the thing was, this was my chance. I finally had that opportunity. And I remember one of the first things we did, I told him about Vitavu. And if you can imagine a 9-year-old, he lived in Laramie, he'd never been before. And I told him about 100-foot boulders and caves and trails and all these animals and wildlife, and we went there, and his mind was blown. What the point is that we were working together, and we were going through these experiences, and I was also showing him that the world is bigger than what's around you. It's bigger than the trailer park, it's bigger than your classroom, it's bigger than this community, and we wanted to see that. This is us meeting the governor. You can see how stoked he is about that one. It's not a big of a deal. I thought it was a big deal, but he didn't think so. And I just wanted to show him all this great opportunity. This is him years later with the other governor, and you see he finally wore a tie, which I thought was pretty cool. I actually showed him how to tie a tie for the first time. And that, of course, was a cute moment. And we were working on doing these activities, but also expanding ourselves and working together and making sure, that we were growing. And yeah, that's a big deal, by the way. But I'll be perfectly honest with you. It wasn't always great. Sometimes there are struggles in life. And I remember, there was a stretch a while back when he got caught up in some things that he shouldn't have. He was doing things that were just frankly out of character. And so I'm here to support him, and we talked about it. And he said, you know what, there's this situation that gets thrown at me, and these people are judging me because of where I'm from and what I look like and who I hang out with. And you know what, it's just not fair. Well, the thing was, I was 14 once too. And is anything fair when you're 14? No, it is not. But we're talking about this, but the important thing is, it's not fair, but it doesn't matter. I said to him, these people are going to judge you, and they're going to think what you're all about, and they're going to put you in these situations. But the important thing is what you do in these situations. Because you make a choice to have an action, and there are consequences for that action. And after we got through that, I remember it was a crossroads, and he realized how much control he had over his whole life. Sure, someone could do this to you, someone could think this about you, but it is your choice to decide how you act on it. And that was amazing. His grades improved. He had better relationships at home and in school and with his friends. And he just grew up into this man, this great guy that I wanted to be around. And I remember after that time, he took me aside one day and he just said, thank you for being there for me, for listening to me and just being a friend, when I have stuff that I need to tell somebody. And it was at that moment that I just thought, I think I'm getting more out of this than you are, because that meant so much to me just to have a small part, because we only hang out in these selected activities, but just the thought that maybe I could steer his life in a little bit of a better direction and help him discover ownership of his own life, that meant the world to me. These pictures are of one of the most important days of my life. I was recently married, and he was one of the first people I thought of that I wanted to be there. And why that was important is because when we first met over 6 years ago, he was a stranger. He wasn't related to me. He wasn't my neighbor. I didn't know him from any sort of group. And here he was on the most important day of my life, standing by my side and being a real, actual brother to me. And when we went through that, I thought to myself, what about everybody else? There's a lot of other kids in this community that could need help. And I think about, if we want to make a better world, if we want to make a better society, we have to start on the ground level. This is one of my favorite quotes, and it just shows that if we want to see something tomorrow, we have to start today. And it's slow, and it takes a long time, and it's a street fight for one-on-one with the youth of our community. And David, I just want to say that I'm so proud of you. He's actually here tonight. David, can you please stand? I just want to recognize you, and I just think he has just been great. All right, thanks, guys.